Moscow. Russian officials on Tuesday denied reports that Moscow sent Washington a written response to a U.S. proposal aimed at de-escalating the Ukraine crisis, a day after the two countries exchanged sharp accusations at the UN Security Council and as a series of high-level meetings in Moscow and Kyiv were underway. The Kremlin is seeking legally binding guarantees from the US and NATO that Ukraine will never join the bloc, deployment of NATO weapons near Russian borders will be halted and the alliance's forces will be rolled back from Eastern Europe. The demands, rejected by the NATO and the US, is non-status, come amid fears that Russia might invade Ukraine, fueled by the buildup of an estimated Russian troops near Ukraine's borders. Talks between Russia and the West have so far failed to yield any progress. Washington has provided Moscow with a written response to the demands, and on Monday 3 Biden administration officials said the Russian government sent a written response to the US proposals. A State Department official has declined to offer details, saying it would be unproductive to negotiate in public, and that Washington would leave it up to Russia to discuss the counterproposal. But Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko on Tuesday told Russia's state RIA Novosti news agency that this was not true. The agency also cited an unnamed senior diplomat in the Russian Foreign Ministry as saying that Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov sent letters to his Western colleagues, including U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, about the principle of indivisibility of security, contained in an international document signed by all members of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Russia has argued that NATO's expansion eastward has hurt Russia's security, violating the principle that the security of one nation should not be strengthened at the expense of others. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters Tuesday that there has been confusion and that Russia's response to the U.S. proposals is still in the works and will be formulated by Russian President Vladimir Putin. On Monday, Russia accused the West of whipping up tensions over Ukraine and said the U.S. had brought pure Nazis to power in Kyiv as the UN Security Council held a stormy debate on Moscow's troop buildup near its southern neighbor. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield shot back that Russia's growing military force along Ukraine's borders was the largest mobilization in Europe in decades, adding that there has been a spike in cyber attacks and Russian disinformation. The harsh exchanges in the Security Council came after Moscow lost an attempt to block the meeting and reflected the gulf between the two nuclear powers. It was the first open session where all protagonists in the Ukraine crisis spoke publicly, even though the UN as most powerful body took no action. Meanwhile, high-level diplomacy continued Tuesday. Putin hosted Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in the Kremlin, saying he would brief him about the talks with the West on Russia's security demands. Orban, in turn, stressed that no European leader wants a war in the region. Later in the day, Lavrov and Blinken were expected to have a phone call, and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was scheduled to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. In the meantime, Zelensky signed a decree on Tuesday expanding the country's army by troops, bringing the total number to in the next 3 years and raising army wages. Zelensky, who in recent days sought to calm the nation in the wake of fears of an imminent invasion, said Tuesday that he signed this decree not because of a war. This decree is so that there is peace soon and further down the line, the president said. The decree ended conscription starting from January 1, 2024, and outlined plans to hire troops over the next 3 years. Zelensky also said Ukraine would forge a new trilateral political alliance with Britain and Poland, hailing it as strong international support for Ukraine. Ad block test. Why?